You see this moose right here? They are really loud when they're tromping through the forest. I'm just taking for a walk down this road that's gated because I remember years ago there was a really cool old abandoned car down here in the woods that I could see from the road, and I'm trying to find it, hopefully. The road's gated, and here's a culvert because down here is somebody's house, although they don't own this section of road they have gated. The logging company just lets them gate it at the intersection so nobody comes down here, because you know how annoying that is during tourist season, the amount of people that come down here exploring just to turn around at your house. Wow, I can't believe I actually found the car. I'm just going by memory when I was a little kid going down this road in a car when it was still open. Because it was such a long time ago, couldn't remember if the car was deep in the woods and I saw it in the clearing that they just logged. But based on these trees, this couldn't have been logged more than, well, it depends when this doesn't look like they replanted. It looks like probably seeds from maple, and this is aspen. That's all there is here. The maple are the red ones and the aspen are the tall, skinny, gray ones here. Those things grow like weeds, the aspen, so this may not have been that long ago. But take a look at this car. Does anyone know what this thing is? I'm just gonna carefully show it. It's starting to rain. That's okay. Happy we saw the moose though. All these years in the woods and the chrome still looks awesome. I'm gonna have to check for ticks coming through here like this. Look how shiny that chrome is, being out in the woods all these years. So I'm just looking at this soil, trying to figure out if maybe the logging company dragged it or moved it recently. At least I didn't come down here in like another couple weeks when these tree buds start opening up. Wouldn't get anywhere near this thing. Here's the seat. Sounds like a whole bunch of Canadian geese out there. Yeah, this thing is a wreck. Yeah, I probably know of at least a dozen abandoned vehicles out in the middle of the woods, different areas of Maine. And some of them are very grown in, some of them aren't. I just haven't seen this one in like a decade, so I wanted to come down and look at it. And look at this tiny little culvert. Look at that. It's a 6-inch pipe. So yeah, we got this old car here. I remember in a video a while back, there's two abandoned train box cars. I think they wound up out here being some sort of storage for the logging company. There's a tractor trailer, just the cab. I mean, what would you call it? The body. It's missing the chassis and everything. There are two old crushed cars up on a hill. I remember I showed last year. And there's some other pretty modern looking car with all the plastic garbage they have these days on it. All right, everyone, on the way back, I'm actually seeing the mooses out here. All right, everyone, I'm now walking back, and the moose still out here. If you can see over here, is that him? Pretty sure that's the moose right there. No? Maybe I'm just looking in the wrong spot. I'm pretty sure I just saw it move. Stand on top of this hill. Is that a moose or is that a rock? No, that's the moose. He's still over there. Heading out. This must be a pretty boring adventure, but I still had fun walking down here, and I got to see a moose and a couple of culverts and that old car. I always thought cedar trees were extremely bug tolerant, but maybe not so. Looks like this was definitely bugs. I think the dew on the trees is really pretty. Most of the night it was misting out. I slept in the car out on one of these roads again, and it's peaceful. Right now it's like 38 degrees. I love it. This is some of the best weather for going on a hike. I seem to overheat whenever it's too much hotter than that. I want to show you guys some beautiful mud holes coming up around this next corner. Moose used to hang out here all the time back in the day, but sadly, it looks like there's barely any tracks these days. There's just not as many moose around, I guess. Where I'm walking right now, they used to bring people on moose tours in vans because it was basically a guarantee that there'd be one in the swamp. First, we have this beautiful thing here. Look at this. Nice little mud hole. I've never seen one in here. This is where the drainage comes out. This was all dug. That's why it looks like a perfect square, but it's still very pretty. Got the culvert over here going in, and look at all this really nice moss. Well, that beautiful moss is new. This was never here before. This whole area was a mud hole from being trampled by dozens of moose a day, always hanging out in this hole. And right up here around the corner is like the biggest spot where they would be, and there's still a little bit of snow. You see how in there is nice and flat, an area where they always lay down. A massive tree stump in there from a white pine back when they logged this. There's another spot the excavators years ago dug out so the drainage ditch has a way to get far into the woods. This location here you might recognize from older videos of mine. I have a video that's like 7 years old titled Moose and Baby, like one of my first moose videos I ever made. It was 7 years ago I posted it, but I actually made that when I was like 10 or 12. I've put trail cameras in this swamp before. We've got moose. Back then they weren't the best trail cameras. I was actually gonna leave another one out here today because I have 4K ones now. But after looking in the mud and not seeing a single moose track, well, no fresh ones at least, I'm not even gonna put a camera out. If I would have came here a decade ago, none of this grass was here. A mud hole with just thousands of moose tracks. Thousands of moose tracks over here too. None of that grass was there. People would always just park right here and watch the moose. Right there, there'd be some very dominant trails leading into a much larger swamp. There used to be dominant trails, like you would park right here and you look over at the other side and you used to literally think this was a hiking trail. It was wide, really wide, and it looked like it was maintained. It's because there was just dozens of moose walking through there every day. Never had the chance to grow in. And right there too, there was multiple trails. You can still tell where they were, but you look down in the road, I'm sure we'll see some moose tracks, maybe. But it used to like be a guarantee. You see, here is one of the old moose's trails. It's still very recognizable, but it's growing in. This used to be like the prime spot to go look for moose. Now, I'm not seeing any tracks. Okay, this tree's about to fall down. Thanks for watching, everybody.